So the engineer is coming back, and with it are some awesome talents, a new movement ability, and obviously some forgeable weapons for that class in particular. Let's talk about this. Hey everybody, what is going on? Brandon here with a quick Realm Royale video. Now, I actually didn't originally intend to do a video today, but over the last couple weeks, there's been some leaks coming out, some data mining coming out, and a lot of people questioning what it all meant. Then we had some more data mining come out yesterday, and then it was officially announced that yes, the engineer is coming back to Realm Royale. And a quick recap for those of you who do not know what the engineer class is. It was a class that was in the game there for a while, and a lot of people really loved it, but it was taken out for balance reasons. Now, then they initially took classes out entirely for a very short, stupid amount of time, and they put classes back. A lot of us expected the engineer to come back and be rebalanced with this new system, but apparently hi-rez was taking their time and making sure that it was actually at least more closely balanced before they brought it back into the game. Because the engineer before was pretty weird and unbalanced. Its movement ability was just a straight vertical jump, straight up and down. It really didn't do a whole lot. You couldn't go any direction with it. Think of it like the warrior's heroic leap without actually being able to go in a direction. It was pretty much pointless, but the engineer did have some really good passives, like it was able to regenerate 5 armor a second while out of combat, which is pretty epic without the rune, because the runes didn't exist in the game at the time, and armor potions were still really rare. So this was pretty much a class you could guarantee yourself you'd have armor even if you never found armor potions in the game, especially if you stayed out of combat. Also, it was pretty prevalent that people would camp with the engineer class, because at the time you could have 2 abilities plus your movement ability, so people would forge the shield, plus they'd forge a health totem, and they would literally just camp out in houses, and you could basically do nothing to them. They're regenerating armor every time you're not hitting them from the shield. They're regenerating health with the health totem. Cooldowns were a lot lower back then, so the engineer, besides its movement ability, was a pretty OP class. But now it's coming back, and we have some information as to what's going to be coming with it. We don't have all the information as to what's actually coming, but we have some, so that's actually pretty awesome. One of the biggest things that stands out to me, though, obviously, is the biggest passive with the engineer back in the day was that it could regenerate armor without being out of combat, and that made it to where it was the only class that could be guaranteed armor throughout the whole match. And they actually carried that over a little bit here. It's not a passive ability now, but there is a talent now with the engineer class that will allow you to make sure your first rune forged is a passive repair rune, which is just insane to me, and it makes me really wonder if they're going to end up nerfing the passive repair rune. As for its movement abilities, it's also going to have charge, much like the warrior does. I don't think they wanted to make an additional movement ability for the engineer. It originally had charge also, so I'm pretty sure they're just going to go ahead and stick it with that and basically make the engineer an offshoot of the warrior. But its main movement ability, the one that we'll start out with, is actually different than anything else that's been in the game so far. It's not actually it has no vertical mobility whatsoever. You're not going to be able to jump with this. It's basically Barrack's movement ability from Paladins. It's a set of rocket boots, and it just kind of boosts your movement speed for about 15 seconds so you can run away, but you can't jump or do anything when you're using it. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I guess I'll just have to wait and see how it plays in game. To me, it feels a lot like Ghost Walk, except for you can still take damage, so I'm not sure how useful it's really going to be. But with the talent system and the engineer and the weapons they can forge, you might not need too much mobility. On that note, as for the weapons that are going to be forgeable by the engineer, there is no new weapons coming. It's just going to be weapons that are already in the game are going to be now forgeable by the engineer, much like they already were, with a little bit of a change. The engineer is going to be able to forge the plasma launcher, the slug rifle, and the LMG. Now, I'm not sure if that means they're going to give the legendary LMG an elemental property. I don't think they will. But those are the 3 that are going to be forgeable by the engineer once it comes back. But yeah, that's all the information I have right now as for the engineer coming back to Realm Royale. Have you guys heard anything else about this? Let me know in the comments down below what your guys' thoughts are on it. Are you excited for the engineer to come back? Do you not want it to come back? Do you not have a clue what the engineer is? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's all the time I got for this one, guys. If you like this video and you want to see more, please do me a favor, mash that red subscribe button. If you want to know anytime Nathan or I upload videos, please do me a favor and ring that bell icon. That way you'll be sure to get notifications, because YouTube's not sending notifications to anybody. But that's all the time I got for this one, guys, and I will see you all next time.